kindest, most open-hearted people I've ever met. And I feel like when we first met, I don't even know how many years it was since you've attended The Art of Loving. Was it 5 years ago now?
Oh gosh, I think it was 2023, maybe?
2023. Okay, it
Yeah.
feels like it's longer.
Yeah.
But I remember meeting you in that retreat, and I was like, there is something special about this woman. I don't know what it is, but I could definitely sense it in the energy and the aura that you have in your presence is just really beautiful. Um, so let's see, you've attended so many retreats with Earth Tantra. You're also in the 500-hour teacher certification program. You have a degree in chemical engineering, which is like really fun to hear on this perspective and line of right brain, left brain, Tantra, spirituality. So I'm excited to hear more about that. And that's a field that you worked in pretty readily until recently. So looking forward to what you have to share on that. You're also studying a shamanic lineage, and you're also certified and you share sound healing. You're an international coach, federation coach, energy coach, and tantric breathwork. You're also an artist.
That's very new.
It's very new, but like so prevalent. Like, oh my gosh, if you all could see her artwork. And she's like, I'm just starting. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like you've been doing it for 100 years. um, yeah, and I think and so much more. Is there anything you would like to add in that?
Uh, Nothing that really comes to mind. It just a, a beautiful journey of learning, and I'm just such a curious person. Um, yeah, so I'm always interested in learning what's happening, and um, yeah, which can be reflected in all of the modalities I've learned. But each one has supported me in a different way through a different stage of my journey.
Oh, great. Okay. This will be fun to dive into these questions. Okay, so I guess we can get started. And if you've just joined us, welcome. Please hold off any questions until the end. And thanks for being here, everybody, as we get to know Laura and highlight her in this raw and real interview. All right, Laura. So why don't you paint a picture of like where do you live? What's your life like right now? Even if it's a lot different, from a few months ago, what does your life look like?
So I live in Houston, Texas, a very urban environment, but it's a neighborhood that feels there's a lot of people walking around. There's a trail across from our house, of people with their dogs and their babies, strollers. Um, and I love that I'm close to everything. And Houston has felt like home for a very long time. There's something about Houston that when I leave and go somewhere else, travel, it's all great, but coming back home and just feeling that energy, it feels like it welcomes me. It's just soft and sweet. So what's life now? I quit my engineering job in November last year, pretty recent. And I wake up and do some meditation, some supported practices, some learning. I've been working on my business and trying to grow it as a coach and healer. And at the same time working on staying clear and still learning about new things. So I'm still taking classes and that curious part of me. I have a husband, Ken, and a little chihuahua. She's a year and a half, and her name is Sochi. And Ishmael is here tonight, and his daughter has a dog named Sochi as well, and you spell it the same way, so it's the craziest thing. um, yeah, I love cooking, and I get to do a lot more of that now. And yeah, it's life is definitely been different since I left my corporate job. It did take a little while for my nervous system to settle and get used to not having that window of time in my day where I'm supposed to be somewhere, where accomplishing things. So it was very discombobulated for until pretty recently. So I was not expecting that. The feeling a lot better, knowing is the right decision for me right now, and feeling really in alignment with my heart and where great spirit is leading me in the work that I'm meant to be doing.
Mm, thank you. Yeah, so let's kind of tie this in together because you dropped some seeds that you left your job. And I'm curious what why did you leave your chemical engineering job? What drew you to that? And then that's part A, and then part B, what skills maybe did you learn in the corporate world with chemical engineering that still support you in this new chapter of your life?
As Tara, I'm such a different person than I was when I started engineering. It is like I've been reinventing and discovering new aspects of myself pretty a lot during the past 7 years, I would say, but most it's been accelerated the last couple. So if you would have asked Ken and I have been married for 11 years this coming month. So he would never would have thought that I would leave my first job as an engineer. I was there for 14 years making chemical additives, and I really thought I would retire from there. Like I don't like change, just very comfortable. Grew up very limited financially with my parents, from very humble beginnings. So having that safety, security of having my own money, taking care of myself was really important to me. So I never thought I would leave. And then things got interesting at work, and I left to a different company, which was great, very supportive leadership team. I felt very honored. Even with my weird side, I felt like I could be myself there. And that's when I learned coaching, all sponsored by beautiful leaders there. And I was like, well, I'll do, and I was doing healing on the side in my home, a healing studio. And I thought I would just, have my job and do healing is something I do on the side. And maybe when I retire, I'll do that full time. I never felt myself fully like just not retiring and doing nothing, just because I love this healing work so much and coaching. So all of a sudden, and I would say, and it's a very vulnerable moment right now, what triggered it. And I'm putting pieces together because it's just so unlike me. I was in a plant medicine circle with psilocybin mushrooms in my shamanic group. And I had an experience where I felt like I was literally dying. Like my mind was breaking down, and I went through a pretty rough part experiences for over a year. I would say that I would have this energy come up and I would feel like I was physically dying. And I was reassured, and I had a lot of support from my teacher. Like, you're not physically dying, it's your ego dying. And what it was is that persona, that identity that I've built through my life and my schooling, that was ready to be released and transformed, so that the new part of my life, the new stage, would come on board. So, and it was right after our ETR1, and I had my personal retreat with you, that I really felt like I got a lot of clarity on, if I don't do this now, I'm gonna regret it. And my biggest prayer for this lifetime is I don't want to live from fear anymore. I don't want to be afraid. I'm just tired of it. So, and it's really scary thing to say to the universe because then you feel like you're dying. So, so be careful. Um, and I've done plant medicine since then, and every experience that I have has been different. It's just what I needed right at that moment. So, what to answer your question B, chemical engineering is from the get go. It intrigued me, not because I love science so much. Was pretty good at math and chemistry. Or just fascinated by the way molecules come together and make something different. But as I was going through my engineering studies, what I loved was how practical it is and how you can make some weird theory, actually apply it and build something that you can hold in your hands, that it can transform products. So that always fascinated me, the practicality of it. And that's why I stayed in manufacturing a lot, making those things happen, process improvement, and those kinds of things. So I would say that taking that practicality to spirituality has been a big transition, and how I use that in a lot of ways, linear thinking and solve problems, but also is very grounded. Engineering is very grounded in practicality to this abstract concepts of spirit and the mind, and actually having a lived experience of what that means. So it's not in your head, it's not in my head, it's living wisdom within me. And I had no idea of how different that is until I've been going through this journey and actually feeling in your body and your bones and your soul when something is resonates and is true, and there's no question about it. So making my life for the better because of spirituality and not this idea of concept in the mind, in the mental body, is something that has become really important to me. Also, as someone who was a really big struggle being in the mind and in the mental body and balancing the left and the right brain, and how difficult it was to break that. Like the importance of coming into the heart and having that balance of logic, but then allowing that intuition to come in. It just makes life so much richer.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I love hearing your story. I'm curious, and coming from a science background myself and working with a lot of like amazing science people that come and spiral into Earth Tantra, do you feel that with that embodiment piece and when you tune into the energy, the sensations, whether it's the physical or not, it it's fact.
It's Can you repeat the question?
Yes, I don't even know if it's really a question.
I'm
Do
just
you
like, I know there was a question there. I'm not sure what it is.
It was a statement. Do
Okay.
you do you feel the embodiment piece is fact to you as as you feel the energy and the sensations within your body? Is it fact with your science background or not? Or maybe it's completely different.
I'm still trying to make sense of that, to be completely honest with you, because I found that it's so foreign of and I can sense it when I'm around people that are a lot in their minds. I can sense this, and like that's where I used to be. So there's really coming into present moment, everything feels so unreal. But at the same time is like that's a different kind of reality that I enter. So there have been moments where I feel like I'm losing my mind. But those moments of absolute lucidity and having that clarity, it's absolute fact of, oh my gosh, I'm on the right path here. There's so much
Yep.
richness. And having never before experienced the joy and the love that I've experienced in those moments of fleeting moments of lucidity sometimes. Um, you have to experience it to know what it is. It's so hard to describe, and you know, language is limited. You hear that a lot, but it really is. And
Mm.
that's I love, like, the biggest teaching lesson I received growing up from my dad is he always told me, don't believe anything, experience it yourself. So having that open mind and but that discernment, but then trying it. So he was not big on religion or anything like that. So he was coming from that angle. So don't believe
Mm.
you do this and this happens. Experience it for yourself, explore.
Mm.
And it's true. It's such a gift to be brought up with that in front of me that I can apply in my life. And yeah, it's being humble enough to know that I don't know anything, everything, right? Sometimes it feels like I don't know anything because it's so humbling when you have those experiences.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I love that you say you just can't put words to it. I'm sure many of us have maybe even been in that same spot, that same space. So yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. All right. Um, okay, so we know a little bit about your life now, your background, what you've experienced in making a change in your life. So let's talk a little bit more about Tantra specifically. Do you recall the moment that led you to Tantra? Maybe the first time you saw
So
the word or Mhm.
I have a couple of good friends that are experienced in Tantra, and they go to different gatherings and circles and events, and they talked about the experiences. So I was curious, but for some reason, and I trust my intuition a lot, and it didn't feel right at the moment, or maybe the particular teachers or whatever they were doing, it just didn't feel right. But as I started my healing journey and really going out of complete left field and being a completely different woman than Ken married 11 years ago. He's such a kind soul. I was looking for a way to connect with him, with my love, my partner, on a spiritual level. And I knew Tantra. I have a very limited understanding of Tantra, and my understanding was a lot like it was a lot out there, that you know, that sacred sexuality piece. So I asked him, like, would you be willing to do Tantra? You know, learn about Tantra with me, go to a workshop. And he's like, what is that? And I was like, it'll help us have better sex. He was sold. he, he didn't. Yeah, he's, you know him. He's pretty chill and just kind, open minded. He's like, yeah, sure, okay, so loving. So I had looked online and I was looking for a retreat, and that's when I came across your page, retreat in Roatan, and I just felt that it was, for me, it felt right. It was the right time. And that's when I reached out to you about going to the Art of Living and in Colorado. And we absolutely loved it. And it's deepened our relationship, brought us closer together, and have this practices in this language just to be more It's not even about the sex, you know. It is that deepening of that heart relationship, that intimacy with each other, and yeah, and the sex is better too. So
The icing on
um,
the cake.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, that's how I became interested in tantra, and then just meeting you and feeling safe, and because it there's a lot of predatory teachers and out there, but you provided us a safe place for us to explore that for ourselves and with each other, and that's so important. Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for also
Mhm.
bringing up that Tantra is much more than sex, right? Tantra, that the sacred sexuality really is just a tiny little sliver of the whole pie and totality. It is a piece. All the pieces are important. I
So
think that's,
tiny.
yeah. All of life, right?
Yeah.
Is in
All of
to the
life.
death
Yeah.
piece that you're talking about. Absolutely. I'm going to take a
Yeah.
sip as well. Okay. So you've kind of mentioned this a little bit already in your relationship with your husband and your life. But anything that you would like to add on how Tantra has shifted or changed your life?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So the first piece was that my relationship um, with Ken, and my relationship with myself, my own body, my energy, my chakras, and then my relationship with the earth. I know you're Earth Tantra, so it might seem silly not to have expected this in the beginning. It sounds really silly now, that I'm saying it, but that was something unexpected in experiencing the Earth, her energy, and knowing it, just like that experience of holy crap. I'm connecting with the earth, and there's no doubt about it, and it's so
Mm.
obvious.
Yeah.
um so tantra is something that I it's part of my life. I do belly breath, root to heart every day. It's just becoming more natural, earthing, being skin to skin with the earth. The crazy lady in our neighborhood that walks barefoot outside when it's not raining or cold. A walking
Love
Sochi.
it.
And because I just noticed the difference,
Mm.
and I'm really as a sensitive, and just it's really immediate feedback when you do these
Mm.
practices, and it's like they're just so supportive that how can you not?
How can you not?
How can you
Yeah.
not? It's just a way of living. And I will say that it wasn't right away though. Because like anything new that you learn, it's a lot of information, and it can be difficult to break habits. So it was just following that intuition, it's like, and remembering the energy and the experience during the retreats that kept me coming back and being more exposed to it and more, so that where now is just, it's just more it's easy, it's seamless, it's incorporating that um, into my life and supporting me and my energy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say, and I think that's is that way with a lot of things, is having patience with yourself and trusting that you're being guided to really integrate and embody something that is supportive for you in your life. It's so easy to get distracted and go back to old patterns and keep it all up here as information. And that's where the practicality really is crucial. Yeah.
Very wise words. Absolutely. Very wise words. The integration piece. Um, we do you want to talk a little bit about we use the term for those of you who are new to Earth Tantra, micro practicing or micro doses of practices. Do you want to talk just a little bit about that and how that's helped with your integration as well?
Yes. So you make it so easy. I see, like, I didn't have to commit to an hour or 2 hours of sitting down and making time for this meditation because I've been in those classes and lectures, and yes, that is powerful, but at the end of the day, it's a lot. I was a lot. I'll speak for myself. I'm a lot less likely to do something like that, and then I feel bad about myself because I'm not doing it. So it's just kind of like a vicious cycle. So with the micro doses, even a couple of breaths here and there, it's becoming and feeling good about. It's like, oh yeah, I remembered I did this. Is self-reinforcing. It's a self-reinforcing pattern, and then I just do it more, and then I do it more, and I was like, oh, it's like, I wonder if I ever get to a point where I'm just breathing belly breath all the time. That'll be a nice day. That happens. But yeah, it's this microdosing is and bringing that gentleness is has been super important because I have been one to be very self-critical, and oh, this is not good enough, and this is why I love mental fitness too. So switching away from negative thinking and patterns and just connecting with that, with the sage, with the wisdom within us, our essence. So micro practices are very supportive um, for that. Little
Thank you for
steps.
elaborating on that.
Yeah.
I think that really helps a lot of people, and especially to hear it from somebody like you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So maybe adding on to that, um, what is your scientific definition of Tantra? Just kidding. No. Science brains. The definition. Um, Not the definition, but what does Tantra mean to you, Laura, in your own words from your heart space?
So my mind wants to chime in because I just took this healing the lower four chakras course with you not too long ago. You go over the definition. Tan, which means weaving in, so like tanning a hide, and tra for the expansion of. And that is really true. And it rings to my heart is weaving of practices of life, of my awareness, of my energy, of the earth, of other people, the community, weaving all of that for our expansion, for awareness, for awakening, for healing, for self discovery, for answering all those questions, mystical questions of what happens after death, how does the universe work, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think the mind can comprehend any of those, but maybe higher mind. But tasting, ah, tasting that, like those experiences that bring that little drip of, what was that? It feels like I know something in the back of my mind that just gives you a little more understanding is, again, difficult to explain. But to me, that's what Tantra helps me helps me do. It's
Mm,
become quiet to notice the subtle
mm.
because spirit isn't loud. Um, at least not in this dimension. But is there, and getting quiet and curious and asking, and you're always answered in the practices of Tantra help that.
Mm, mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm. Love that. And the
Taste.
taste of Tantra. Absolutely. Mm. Thank you for
Mm.
sharing what Tantra means to you. All right, let's see here on time. We might have time for maybe one more question. Oh, yeah, I'll ask one more question and then we'll talk about how people can find you before we open up for questions. Um, oh, so many. Okay. Can we get a little vulnerable? What has been your most edgy moment experienced in Tantra? There might be one or two. I'm not sure. You can talk about one or two if it steps forward for you.
There is one so memorable that when you ask this question is like, how can I like not talk about this one? It was during the death retreat last year, and we were doing holotropic breath work. For those of you who do not know, that is very rapid breathing um, to get us in an altered state very naturally. And you were guiding us beautifully. Ken was my sitter. He was making sure it was okay and had everything I needed. So it was going through that process. We're coming towards the end where you asked us like to release it. And I remember you asking us to make contact with the earth. So I reached out my foot. It was on the mat. We were at the teepee, so it was the dirt, the earth on the side. My big toe was the only part of my body that touched the earth. And I felt her sensual energy just come rushing through me. And I became so aroused, alive. And it wasn't anything sexual, it was very sensual. And I brought that up during share back because I was confused. And then you asked me, "Have you heard of an earthgasm?" I was like, "No, what is what is this?" Um, but that just opened me up because I've been finding that that energy is also is within me, is natural. I'm a very sensual being, and I was repressed and I was starved of this life-giving energy. And now breathing root to heart, it just it clears, like the earth clears something for me, and then like I just feel it, and it's so best way I can describe it. It just makes me feel alive in a different way, so full of
Mm,
joy and energy and just aliveness. So I'll never forget that
mm.
because it was so unexpected. Um, yeah,
An earthgasm.
yeah,
Mm. So possible. Absolutely 100%. It's a fact. That right
yes,
side of the brain, it's a fact. It can happen.
yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that intimacy and the moments of that exchange that you had with Gaia, Mother Earth. Um, Thank you for being open to sharing that vulnerable space with us all.
absolutely.
Mm. Mm. I think that's a great way to begin to end this raw and real. And then the lingering out, more to come. All right. So, Laura, do you want to talk a little bit about what you offer? Maybe you can type any links or where people can find you. If you want to share an email, you can, or your social link or website. And so, as Laura is doing that, if you're interested in connecting with Laura, she offers guidance. And all of these links will also be shared in the recording that will be sent out tomorrow. So you'll see them again tomorrow with the recording. But feel free to connect with Laura. I'm sure she would love to hear from you. And maybe it's even, and maybe you're not looking for guidance, but you just want to share how her story has impacted you, maybe something that resonated. Um, you can always ask her a question there too. If she's comfortable answering it, she'll respond. If not, she'll let you know that too. So, um,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's too raw. That's too edgy. I won't answer that.
Well, you never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think, is there anything else you would like to add as a wrap up before we open for questions?
No, it's just very grateful for the opportunity to share in conversation with you and be with everyone. Very grateful for everyone who's here and who's listening to the recording. Just feel so blessed. And yeah, it is my hope and wish that each soul, each person in the world gets to experience themselves, their real selves, in a deeper level. Imagine what the world would be.
Mm, mhm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's a lot more kindness because you start figuring out that it's all about love. it's, it's the only thing that matters. What comes in and out of the heart, and how you support each other, and in this crazy adventure we signed up for. um, yeah.
All right. Thank you for those beautiful ending words. And we'll open up for questions. And then at the top of the hour, maybe just a minute after, we will have a closing and giving Laura a sense of gratitude. I know we're on all different time zones now. If you don't have any questions and you don't want to hang around, you're welcome to hop off. And if you have a question, you're welcome to unmute yourself and just ask live. I'm not going to navigate this. So if two people pop on at one time, you can just kind of figure it out and who wants to ask the question first. And then in about 10, 11, 12 minutes or so, we'll close our circle tonight. All right. Who would like to ask a question or a comment?
Hey Tara, it's Ed.
Yes. Eddie!
Hi,
I love that you're here
sweetie.
tonight.
Yes, yes. So Laura, I just wanted to just say thank you so much for jumping on. The question I have for you is, with all of the transition that you've been through and stepping into this new version of you, how would you describe your superpower?
My superpower. Wow, Eddie. uh, hmm, is that curiosity
Mm,
because that helps me stay open. That it's yeah, it's that sensibility, and that curiosity to keep going forward and to follow what my heart is saying, and then learning to listen to my heart, which is hasn't been easy. So I think another superpower is the resilience and trust in myself, which confidence has been one of my things that I've been working through. But now that you ask me this question, is it like having the confidence in myself and trusting myself to keep going forward? And yeah,
Thank you.
so yeah, thank you, Addie.
Mm.
I don't have a question, but I know Laura because we were co-workers. My name is Ismael, by the way. So I know Laura for a few years, right? We worked together until last year. Sadly, he quit from the company, right? We miss you, Laura, but I know you took the right direction because I mean, when I'm seeing you, right, you are happy in what you are doing. You likes what you are doing, and that is the most important thing, right? So I just say thank you for the coaching that you gave us last year. Remember, it was a positive intelligence, some kind of meditation that helped us. So that was important for me in a difficult time that I had last year, right? So it was it is really appreciated, Laura, what you did for us, and everything that you discussed today. I mean, it's like a quantic mechanics because I'm not totally. I don't know any about tantra or all this terminology that you are speaking, right? But it sounds interesting, and I know you. I have your contact, and you have my name. You can contact as well. So for maybe future conference or events that you have, would like to participate as well. So thank you for that, Laura.
Mm.
Oh, thank you, Ismael, for your words, and um, I miss you guys too. I don't miss the work, just the fun work that I got to do with y'all.
Yeah.
Um, the coaching. And Tara's coming in October for ETR1 Tantra retreat in Cold Spring. So, yeah, if it aligns and you feel called, absolutely, you can learn more.
And Laura is assisting at that
Yes, I'll be there.
retreat. So she'll be there. Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for those supportive words. Other questions, comments?
Hi, Laura. It's me, Reese. Um,
Hey!
so, um, so I work with Laura as well. We have two different companies. And I would say that her superpower is to be able to calm me down. Um, she just has this soothness about her. But I do have a question. Like once you started going on the journey, right, on the path, um and this is a very engineering question because I'm curious, like how long did it take you to get to a point where you're like, this is the right thing, and then I'm going to continue with my practice because I know that this is the right thing. How long was that transition for you? I don't know if you mentioned it or not.
Um, so it didn't take very long. Thank you for the question, Reese. Um, so what I didn't share is what brought me to healing was a really rare illness. It's called intracranial hypertension, which is high cerebral spinal fluid pressure. So I had that back in 2018, and I tried all the medical things, and I became really disillusioned, and the lack of answers Because in my engineering mind is like there's a cause and effect. Something is causing this. How come you don't know the answer? So that's what led me to meditation, and that's when my third eye, my sixth senses started opening, and I started having visions. My trauma started coming up, and I had to look for someone who could support me in that way, that could understand me. So that's when I found an energy healer here in Houston. And from the very first session that I had with her, I the very next day, like I felt something within me shift. And from that moment I knew, like I kept going to sessions. I didn't know I would be doing this kind of work, to be honest with you. And she's like, I'm gonna teach Reiki. You should come and learn it. I was like, I don't have no interest in being a healer. She's like, oh, you can use it for yourself. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went and learned, and going through that class and having one of those experiences that you can't explain. That's like spirit gives you little breadcrumbs or little teaspoons of, that's what kept me going. And I just never experienced anything like it. And I wanted more. I was like, where does that come from? And I just became so curious, and I want to learn more. And it's just this thirst for that curiosity to follow that thread. So it was pretty early on, Reese, that I knew that was the right path for me. And it just evolved from there.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Reese, for that question. Yeah, that was a great question. We have time for one more question. Anybody else?
Hi, Laura. This is Sylvia.
Hey, Sylvia.
So how's it going? So I'm really glad that you're putting yourself out there like this. I've been privy to some of your journey, and it's been amazing to watch. Um, so I was wondering also, um, with this sort of change in identity in a lot of ways, do you find like with your family that they're on board, or do you get a lot of like quizzical looks, or like, what are you doing with yourself? Why are you doing this? Like, what kind of response do you get from your family?
It has been mostly support, Sylvia. Thank you for the question. My mom was just terrified of me leaving my stable job and that income, but she's very supportive, and really a champion. And she's expressed she's really proud of me. So I think it's just her own fears and insecurities, but she trusts me. My little brother is jealous that I'm in a position I can do this. He doesn't see eye to eye with the spiritual side of it, but just the leaving of my job. He's okay with that. And other than that, I mean, like some of my coworkers thinking I'm crazy, and Reese helped me field some of some of those questions, or it's like people's questions, and they can't wrap their heads around somebody making a decision like this, is because it's pretty extreme, and it's really hard to explain to someone who can't relate. So I just yeah, nobody said to my face, like, are you crazy, or what a waste of a degree, or anything like that, to my face at least. But that's their thoughts, and they're entitled to have their opinions. And I'm in a place that fortunately it doesn't affect me, or I don't let it get to me, and just trust that what I'm doing and the decision, I get to live with that decision. They don't, and is right for me. So I can't keep everyone happy. So I focus on making myself happy. And yeah.
Thanks. Thanks for answering that.
Thank you, Sylvia.
I echo the heart that was just given to you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you for explaining that, and maybe your story, and the big change that you've made in your life might inspire somebody to do the same if they're feeling similar, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
worst
right.
case,
Yeah.
I just learned something new, right? Learn something about myself, and if anything, I'm adaptable and capable, and my degree isn't going anywhere. And if needed, where push comes to shove or something unexpected happens, I trust myself. So
Mm.
yeah.
Thank you for trusting yourself, being available to the world in new ways.
Thank you.
All right, Laura, it has been an honor to share this time with you and everybody else on this call. And so we are going to end this call with a sense of gratitude. I invite everybody to close their eyes for a moment, putting their hands on their heart space, feeling into the energy that has been shared from Laura tonight with all of us, her story, her very personable, intimate parts of her story along her spiritual tantric path. And I invite you to send some of that warmth within your heartbeat directly to her, maybe a smile on your face. Laura, we thank you so much for being here and sharing your inspirational story and parts of your intimate life with us tonight. Much gratitude to you and your journey. All right.